All rise for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Alvarez.
Here.
Councilwoman Eckhart.
Here.
Councilwoman Hudak. Here. Councilman Lord.
Here.
Supervisor Head.
Here. Okay. Exits in the front and the rear. Any electronic device, please put it on vibrate. Okay, I'm going to put the work session off till later in the meeting because the person that wants to discuss it is not here as yet. Let's see who comes in the door. Can't see who it is.
No.
No, him, right? I gotta get my eyes fixed. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the regular portion of the meeting. Mr. Stevens had a previous engagement. Usually our meeting's on Thursday night, and today is Wednesday, and
I'll second.
another meeting. Oh, we're gonna start, you second and open the meeting?
I did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, waive the reading of the correspondence. Now, we have a problem with the voucher list. Supposedly the cloud was clouded today, we couldn't get the reports and couldn't get the checks out. So, I'm gonna ask, is there 3 members that can come at some point in time tomorrow just to do the vouchers? I'll scan them like we normally do. If they get done before noon, could we do it at 12:30, 1 o'clock? I mean, are you around at all tomorrow?
I am around after 2.
2. Lynn?
I am here at 9 for an MTA meeting, so.
And what about after that? You're around there?
I am going up, no, I probably won't be available in the afternoon.
Okay. John,
Yeah, I can stop by
at
anytime.
2 o'clock, can we do it?
No, it has to, everyone has to be together to pass.
Yeah, no, I can stop anytime. If you're gonna have, if Liz is going to show at some point,
Yeah,
then I can be there then.
okay. And then when we have
If you
3,
have 3,
We have
right, I
3.
won't try to
Okay.
rearrange the
so,
schedule.
so between 2 and
to get
2,
up
I'll get
here.
the, once we know we have the vouchers and everything, I'll contact all of you. We're gonna put it on the internet, approximately 2 o'clock. We'll fine tune it. Once we know exactly when we'll have it.
Okay.
So is it 2
Good.
o'clock even for you?
I'm going to say 2:30.
2:30, okay. So right now, we're gonna schedule, announce it on the web tomorrow for
Okay.
2:30 and do it accordingly.
And if I don't go up to Massachusetts, I can come in.
Okay.
I just don't know yet.
Waves you go by. Okay, setting of the meeting dates for public hearings. All meetings will be held at 1360 Route 22, Bristol, New York, at 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Thursday, August 9th, 2018. Thursday, August 30th, 2018. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, waive the reading of the budget transfers. Okay, we're going to stop here and go back to the work session. No, we have to, we'll go back. So we're going to end with number 4 of the regular meeting, and now we're going to the work session discussion, CHIPS and road repair allocation. And that here. Mr. Bruin? You're up. For CHIPS and allocations, you've provided some information to the town. Do you have your paperwork that you submitted to us?
I provided it via email today to the town board and to the town attorney.
Well, you provide us with numbers on Monday, I believe.
Unless you're referencing
You
what
said-
you sent today at 1:38.
Now, what we're going to reference is Monday, July 23rd. You sent an email to the town board. You identified the roads for CHIPS for this year as being roads to be paved 2018, Federal Hill, Putnam Avenue, Meridian Drive, Friendly Road, Crack and Seal, Jonathan, Hickory, Enoch and Deer. Crack sealing is very difficult, whatever. You don't recall sending that to the town?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't think I have a copy of that now, but from memory, I believe that it references the possibilities to be paved and to be treated this year with CHIPS funds, Pave New York funds, and EWR funds.
Okay, so based on this information you provided to the town attorney, to the town board, the town attorney prepared a resolution for this evening. I believe it was sent out this morning, and you responded back 2 o'clock or thereabouts with some concerns about the way it was written.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, before you got here, we made an announcement that the town attorney, excuse me, is not available this evening. He had a previous engagement. Usually our meeting's on Thursday night. He had something planned for tonight and could not be here. And he advised me to tell the town board that he believes the resolution should be passed as it was presented. And we have another meeting on, what is it, August 9th, and it can be revised. We don't want, to be the cause of any delay of any roads being, chip sealed or whatever's going to happen this year. So we're going to pass it as proposed. And on August 9th, we will revise it after you speak to the town attorney, how you want to word it different than it currently is.
I would be in favor of that. The good thing about 284 agreements is that they are revised as occasionally or as often as necessary to accommodate the needs. So going forward, I think that if we can get some of this work done under this resolution, it would be appropriate.
Nope. And then you talk, between now and then, you contact the town attorney and identify how you want these monies spent. But in the meantime,
I did that. I did describe it completely. I described the funding from the extreme weather recovery, winter
Yeah.
recovery.
you did, but evidently there must be some, like you said, there must be a misunderstanding or you misunderstood.
that-
Whatever it
there
is, between now and the next meeting, it'll get revised, however that money is to be spent.
Sounds good.
Okay, now, on the CHIPS money. Now, one of the questions I have about the CHIPS money, the presentation you made in the resolution tonight, is that going to be for the filing for the 2018 year, or will it come out for 2019? What
I'm
allocation year?
not sure I understand that.
What allocation year is this CHIPS money going to be for? When you file your report to get reimbursed by the state, will it be for 2018 or 2019?
It will be for 2018.
Okay?
I
Now,
believe there's still a window left for filing for portions of last year's, which would be 2017 if need be. I'm not sure exactly what the window is for that, but I think it's about 24 months, could be up to 24 months that you can still file for previous years. But the CHIPS extreme winter recovery and the paved New York funds that I was asking you for in this resolution were for the 2018 year.
okay. Now, in all the documentation you submitted to the town board thus far, I have not seen any CHIPS reporting for 2017. Did you file with the state for 2017?
You requested that information, I gave it to you in its entirety.
For 2017?
That's correct.
No. You provided us,
I believe there's a portion in there that states that there were no CHIPS funds used in 2017, but the statement was that the previous years had all been accounted for where those funds were utilized.
okay,
The important thing to remember is, as I stated in the last town hall meeting and again tonight, is that the extreme winter recovery funds and the paved New York funds are not guaranteed to roll over to the following.
that's not my question.
What is your question?
I have here a memo from yourself to the town, see attached for your consideration. It's dated June 21st, and you identified, because the town had requested identify what CHIPS money has been spent since 2014, 15, 16, and 17. I've got the letters here if I have to go get them. In that, you in turn sent back to the town expenditure that you want for this year, and you
I
identified.
don't, for this expenditure for this year,
Yeah,
which year?
you wrote, which we're actually approving tonight, is how you're gonna spend the money. You had, which road is this one here? Microservicing, Macadam, Indian Wells. That's part of your report for this evening, no?
I thought at the last meeting, he said that he had rolled over monies. That's why he
This
had
is-
like
no, time
additional,
out.
like.
This
an
is
extra-
not about money. This is just about the reporting. In the resolution tonight, this money is identified and will be paid. It's not gonna be done with CHIPS money, it's gonna be done through the regular portion of his budget or any of the other funds that he's speaking of.
The reason it's not being done with CHIPS money was it couldn't get approved by the town board at
That's
that
right.
time. And at the meeting, I think 2 or 3 meetings ago, we had that discussion, and I asked it, okay, and the town board assured me, and the town attorney assured me that I did not need the approval of the town board to spend my regular budget. So not to interrupt those two processes, I accepted the word of the town board members and the town attorney, and we went ahead and we microsurfaced those 2 roads.
That's not the issue. Here's the issue. The issue is, you provided us with a report. It says 2014, you spent $300,228.85 on CHIPS money, identified the road. Not a problem. 2015, you identified spending X number of dollars. Not a problem. 2016, you identified the expenditure of $159,362. Not a problem. We had asked for 2017. It's not in the report you provided us. So,
There was an extensive report on 2017 that applied to the monies that were spent from the town budget, not from EWR, from CHIPS, or from Pave New York, because none of those funds were allocated. We're not obligated to utilize those funds. We can stockpile them until a point 2, 3, 5 years down the road when we use them.
that is not the question. I'm asking for 2017. Now, in part of what you submitted something here that says 2017. And you state,
That's not what I was here for tonight, to go back into 2017, or I would have brought that report exactly as I
well,
had
you
sent
send
it
it
to
to
the
us tomorrow.
town.
You send it to us tomorrow.
I'm
okay?
sorry?
Send it to us tomorrow. These are your documents. Okay? I'm looking for 2017 because
What are you looking for 2017?
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
Okay? This report does not identify expenditures for 2017. So the question is, did we pave any roads in 2017?
We did.
7 Oaks Lane?
Did we pave roads in 2017?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Did you make application to state to receive CHIPS money for that?
I've already told you that several times. No,
You did not?
no.
Okay. So 7 Oaks Lane was done.
Sorry?
7 Oaks Lane was done in 2017. When you apply for the CHIPS money for 7 Oaks Lane, will you be applying for CHIPS money?
I'm having trouble understanding it.
Okay. You paved 7 Oaks Lane in 2017.
I paved certain roads in 2017.
You
yeah.
did more than 7 Oaks Lane?
I'm sorry?
You got to provide the town with what you did in
I did.
2017. You-
I actually sent to your office all of the receipts for the blacktop that we used.
Well,
and-
the receipts
and the
for
roads that-
blacktop
and the
doesn't
roads
identify-
And the roads that was used on.
Then is that what this is supposed to be? It says 2017.
I'm not sure of the document you have. You want to provide me with a document that you have in your hands, I can refute that or support it. I don't know what document you have. I don't memorize every document
I'm
that I
not
send to
asking you to
you.
memorize, I'm trying to find out where, you've never submitted for 2017 CHIPS, any kind of money from the state for reimbursement for 2017. I believe you said, no, we did not. Yes?
That's correct.
Okay. What I'm trying to find out, the numbers we're using here tonight, If there's money still owed to this town for the CHIPS money, but if we
You
never
have
made
that
application.
document. You have that document from the New York State Department of Transportation. The same document that you took the last town board meeting, you took the available, you told me what funds I had available.
But did you make
The document that you requested from the DOT, or actually was sent to you by the DOT for extreme winter recovery, for paved New York funds, it shows the rollover balances, the unused portions for the years that they were unused, and it also shows you this year's balance that is accrued for all of those funds.
If
It
we-
shows that there were no CHIPS allocations for for the year of 2017, that they were rolled over into 2018. And I
Time out.
I
You have-
think
you have
that I may have,
misunderstanding. Are we-
I actually have a copy of that with me, if you care to. The CHIPS funds that we have currently available for our disposal, the total balance for this year.
342, 820, 41.
That's correct.
Okay. The
And what
question-
is, and underneath that, the paved New York funds, do you have that figure in front of you as well?
What I need to know, are you going to make application for any reimbursement for the state for the year 2017?
I would have to research that and let you know if there were any that were due and payable.
the
If there
reason-
are any due and payable that you know of, I would
Not that we-
appreciate that information so that we could rectify it if there was a problem.
What we need to know is there more monies coming? We're allocating money tonight. You identified a number, okay? What I'm trying to find out, is the town entitled to any more monies? Because that's going to affect the numbers in the resolution we're proposing tonight or in a future one. So between now and when you speak to the town attorney to prepare the numbers,
I think that what I did was, last meeting, I detailed the process for applying for CHIPS reimbursement and for paved New York and for EWR reimbursement. And the way that works is we pave a certain road and we allocate those funds to either come out of the general fund or out of one of these reimbursable funds.
so
At
was
such a-
Seven
at
Oaks
such-
Lane paid
At
out?
such a point in time, the town would pay for the material or pay the contractor for that job, and the canceled check would be sent to me by our town accountant.
I get
And
it.
at such a point in time, I would forward that to New York State Department of Transportation for reimbursement. At this point in time, I have never received any kind of check back from our town that stated that we paid for any kind of paving that was reimbursable under any one of these state funds.
So when you did Seven Oaks Lane last year, wasn't the contractor paid?
I'm sorry?
Last year, when you paved Seven Oaks Lane,
We paved several,
Seven Oaks Lane,
7 Oaks Lane, yes.
did you pave that last year?
Did you pave it?
Who paid?
Paved, did you
Let me
pave?
tell you, I think I'm more confused this week than I was last
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
Last
I'm thinking I'm also kind of
last
confused.
But you
week-
guys have to understand,
No.
We
I think
paved-
I do, I thought I understood it last week when I thought Mike was clear
No,
that he was
last meeting.
rolling money over.
If
So
this is
hence,
about-
there was nothing for 2017, and the
Wait,
rolled
time out.
over
Did you
money
say-
would be coming out now in 2018.
Did you say there's
which-
no?
Which is the conversation that we're having in regards to the resolution tonight.
Right,
Because
I
that
think-
included the rollover funds.
Can I just say one thing? Unfortunately, I am getting like really confused with this conversation, and right now, what I would like to do is, Tony, is to sort of dial it back, even though I hate that cliche, just so that I understand that, right now, I think what appears to be somewhat obvious is that the highway department paid for Seven Oaks Lane, I
Okay,
think.
right.
And I think that right now, what we're really saying is how were the funds, which funds were used, at which period of time, and which approvals? Because the last time we were here, we had this little debate about whether or not the town board had to approve certain expenditures of the CHIPS and/or the highway department. So what I think I would prefer to do right now is, I think I'd like to focus, quite frankly, on the resolution that we have before us, which is the Highway Improvement Funding Highway Law 284 agreement, simply because I think where we're at, as far as going backwards and what did you have and what didn't you have, What I would really like to do is to, particularly since what Mike is saying is, he's not really equipped tonight to fully explain what, or fully say what the answers are. What I'm thinking is maybe what we can do is focus on this resolution simply because
Well,
what.
when we get to the resolution. Right now, we're discussing,
Well, as far as rollbacks and all that, I think right now what I'm hearing, quite frankly, is that Mike does not have the information before him because he focused, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but you focused on the resolution that's before us right now. And the resolution before us, what I think you're saying is the issue, is that as far as what we've had here in the resolution regarding CHIPS allocation, as opposed to maybe highway fund allocation, might be incorrect. What you would like to do is come forth and sort of straighten it out. If you straighten it out the next meeting, which is August, whatever we just said, August 9th, perhaps what we can do is indeed, if we review this, this resolution and we approve it tonight, and then the next time that you come back on August 9th, you can have a full explanation and with all the backup documentation to what Tony is saying, which is he'd really like to know precisely how the funds have been paid in the past, correct, Tony?
Well-
And at this point, I think really what you're saying is, I need to have something here, but tonight, I think, in all fairness to Mike, we don't really have all of the information before us, which could be an issue, particularly to me, since I don't really know how much information I need from prior years to pass this resolution. Lynn?
Well, what I would like to say is I was concerned that we weren't all on the same page at the last meeting. And so I hand-delivered this agenda with backup papers to Mike, because I know we have to be expeditious. I know we must move this along. We don't want to miss a paving season. So I'm a little surprised that you don't have more information with you, but we need to
I'm
do
sorry,
this.
what information would I have?
Well, Tony's been asking you for information on 2017.
He was supplied with that in its entirety. So we're going backwards with that. I think that Liz had a good solution that going forward, if we're going to pave roads this year, I think that we can make the corrections I know we can make the corrections in the 284 agreement at any point in time. There were a few addition mistakes that were made the way the resolution was written. But in its entirety, it was basically a good document that we can go forward, we can utilize the funds in all of these accounts. We can utilize the funds in the general funds to move forward, get some roads paved this year, and just do the mistakes in apparently what happened was the Pave New York, when I emailed back to Will this afternoon about that 284 agreement, he had excluded the Pave New York and the extreme winter recovery funds. So I brought that to his attention. It's very, very correctable. Like Liz said, moving forward, this 284 agreement will work for the vast majority of it. There were two things at the end where Will did his calculations and we ran out of dollars. But we in fact didn't, because the 280, or the Pave New York and the EWR, I'm just going to look at here and say roughly $170,000 that weren't accounted for at that point in time.
Is this the email that you sent this afternoon that you're referring to? Because I'll admit, that email confused me. But I thought we weren't going to talk about that tonight, so I wasn't going to bring it up. You may have.
And if you're not, I may have made a copy of that as well, but it was just a mistaken addition, I think, that he, so.
Well, here's what I'm concerned about is we are accountable to the public for every dollar spent, as you know.
Absolutely.
And you have your budget. And I know Tony wants to get all this cleared up and out of the way, and I do too. I want to clear up all these, everything, vehicle policy, gas and diesel, fuel distribution tracking, and certainly this CHIPS.
And I have issues with those as well, so.
But
those aren't for discussion
right,
tonight. We're
yes,
passing those.
but I just think that I considered myself fairly prepared for this, and I was hoping that this would all be ironed out and done tonight. And I can see it's frustrating. I know we can pass this, but it's frustrating that it isn't done. It seems like it's been taking too long, that's all.
Okay, look, I'm gonna try to move on. I just have a few more questions about what we're doing here this evening. I'd like to know, what is the criteria? You identified the roads. Let's all agree that you've identified roads you want to pave for this year, okay? That's the one you sent to us on July 23rd, which is in the resolution. We want to do Federal Hill,
I'm sorry?
Federal Hill,
Yes,
Putnam Avenue,
yes,
Meridian Drive,
yes.
Friendly Road. I'm just reading the items that you,
Yes, but I heard road, but I didn't hear the first two words. I'm sorry.
okay. And then you have Crack Seal, Jonathan Hickory. So one of my questions is, how do you identify which roads you're going to pave each year?
By their condition, by the amount of traffic, there's several factors that enter into that. Basically, the rate of deterioration, whether they can be treated in any other form or not. There's a multitude of things that go into the calculation.
Okay, can I ask you a question then? My road is on here, so when I vote tonight, I'm going to abstain from the vote when it comes to Meridian Drive, because I should not receive any greater benefit than anyone. So when you say you base it on condition and traffic, now in Meridian's Drive, now Mr. Alvarez's road was done about 3 years ago, okay? And I looked at a report that Mr. Bavak prepared for us about the condition of our roads. This was and I went back to see, because I want to see how bad my road was. I don't think my road's good, but I know a lot of roads aren't good. And in the report, there's numerous roads. There's like 249 lines of roads. Some of them are quadrupled because you take a portion of one road to another. I'm just trying to find out what's the purpose of Meridian Drive? Is there any special reason?
Because the condition of that road from memory is such that it can take a blacktop cap at this point without a total rehab. We have roads that are probably 20 and 30 on our list at this point in time, but they're far beyond a repair where you can do a blacktop cap on them and get away with it. They're at a point where they need to be what they call full rehab. They have to be ground down to the dirt, basically, and either removed and have a new base put in, or have do a cold or hot in place repaving, and then you do a cap on. I think that you will recall the Star Ridge Road was done that. I remember taking you through that process 4 or 5 years ago, where Star Ridge Road was in such a vast state of disrepair that we actually ground it. We had this, what they call a train. There was a 100-foot long series of equipment that ground it, reclaimed it, added modifiers and added asphalt to it, and put it back in place and rolled it in place.
Okay, so let me ask you a
Then we
question.
put a blacktop cap over the top of that. It was an extremely expensive process. We have roads like, let's say, Morning Dove and Indian Well, that we just did a process where we micro-paved them. And people would say that and I think they were rated at an 80 or so. The reason we do that is that the key thing in maintaining roads is keep your good roads good, and if your roads that are shot already, if they're at the bottom of your list, they're going to stay at your bottom of the list. They don't get any worse. A road like Meridian Drive is salvageable.
Good, okay, that's
So
all I
what we
need to know.
did with Morning Dove and Indian Well last year was we crack sealed all the cracks, and this year we put this surface treatment on it that will give that road another 10 years and keep it up at a 90 plus on our rating system.
Okay, because Indian Wells here had a rating of 83 back in, again, 2014. My particular road had a 75. And there's numerous roads, of course, within the town I figured out there's about
But
130.
yours is getting a blacktop cap. It's not getting a minuscule treatment. We're treating the roads to keep,
I just wanted to make sure that the road being done in front of my home is
you can
being.
rest assured the roads are being done in a very calculated manner. That's what I
I
got hired
just
for,
want to
and I do my
verify
job
my
extremely
particular
well.
road because of who I am. I don't want anything, I'm getting
If you'd
special
like
treatment.
Meridian Drive not paved, then please make that
And
request.
Mr.
I have
Alvarez
no-
had his
There
road
are other
paved.
roads that
We're
need
like
it.
regular citizens. Okay.
Could I ask a quick question? Because you'll know the answer to this. Are there any other, I call them the tree streets or Tenetta Heights? Is Meridian then, in your opinion, the best candidate up there for what you're doing? There isn't somewhere else that would,
I believe because of its length and because of its condition, it was selected for that reason. There are certainly other roads in town that are similar that I could, if we don't treat that road, we can do other roads and people would be extremely happy to have it done. But
I know that.
when you look at Briar Drive, I believe is in a similar condition, but it gets nowhere nearly the amount of through traffic from Meridian coming off of North Brewster Road, up Tenetta Lake Road, and up Meridian to to Larkspur and all the associate Blueberry. It's a highly trafficked road, so we can certainly
no,
utilize
that's
the
fine. If it's
blacktop elsewhere.
if it's your opinion that that's the best candidate for that area especially.
That's why I selected it, yes.
That's what I'm
Okay.
asking, that's all.
If there's a request not to do it, I can entertain that.
No one's requested not to do it. I want to verify on the record the reason and rationale why it's being done. Okay, we're going to try to move on. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this matter at all? Okay. Seeing none, we're going to make a motion now to go back into
Can I
the
ask
regular
a
meeting.
question?
Yes.
Mike, you said that you had given Tony information on 2017. Did you send it to the whole board? Because I don't recall seeing anything with that.
Yes.
I did have a complete report, and I'm sure I don't have it tonight because I wasn't prepared for that question.
Okay.
I
But you
can
sent-
certainly provide all of the paving that was done for that year. I did provide it, and I can.
Here, everyone got it.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I just don't
Mike,
recall
Mike,
that.
will you be prepared the next meeting if indeed you differ with the resolution that's proposed tonight, if indeed we pass it? Will you be able to come back with very substantive information that Tony asked you for this evening, and whether you want to vary this resolution? You're going to be prepared by August 9th? I just want to make sure.
Absolutely. Please,
Good.
and just please follow them up with a list by email of the requests, and I would be more than happy to answer all your questions.
Okay, thank you.
And-
Okay, we're going to go back now to the regular meeting, resolution vehicle policy. Resolved that the town of Southeast, the town adopts an amended vehicle policy, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made part hereof, and be further resolved that the copy of the vehicle policy shall be circulated to all employees, appointed and elected officials who use or utilize town-owned vehicles in the course of their employment or position, that each such employee or official shall sign a receipt indicating they are in possession of the amended vehicle use policy, and that they have read contents thereof, and be further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. Now, do we want input? We discussed it last time. I think the biggest problem with this resolution, besides the fact there's some objection to the fact about take-home vehicles and things of that nature, was the word assigned, and I changed it based on a written comment that came back. With regard to the town highway superintendent, he or she shall have access to a single, 24-hour take-home vehicle at any one time, which shall be used for town business purposes and incidental personal use within the town of Southeast only, and all other conditions contained herein shall pertain to the operation of this vehicle. That was changed. And
14.
14, yeah. No town vehicle is permitted to leave the town of Southeast for any purpose without the prior approval of the town supervisor in each instance first obtained, with the exception of the vehicles used by employees of the highway department who are also members of the recognized collective bargain unit, labor union, wherein such approval must be verbally obtained and approved by the highway superintendent. However, no highway department vehicle shall be operated by a member of a collective bargaining unit representing highway department employees shall be operated outside a 45-mile radius of the town of Southeast without the express verbal written approval of the town supervisor in each instance. So the word is assigned has been totally removed, and that was the change.
And Tony, if I can just say, I hope that this is done also expeditiously and that there is only one vehicle that is, I hope there's only one vehicle used then in that case. It can be substituted, it can be any vehicle, but I hope it's one at a time.
Further discussion on the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, resolution, miscellaneous gas and diesel fuel distribution tracking. Okay, now therefore be resolved that henceforth, all gasoline and diesel dispensed from the Town of Southeast Highway Department fuel pumps, which is pumped into a container, auxiliary fuel tank, or anything other than a town vehicle having its own key, must abide by the following accounting procedures. Any miscellaneous gas and miscellaneous diesel distributed by the highway garage fuel tank with a miscellaneous key shall be required a detailed fuel distribution log sheet be kept at the time of disbursement. The log shall include at a minimum the day, date, number of gallons, amount dispensed, and description of the vehicle container, auxiliary tank to which fuel was dispensed. The log shall also include the purpose of distribution. If the disbursement is pumped into an auxiliary tank, a log must be kept in the vehicle, and when fuel is dispersed from the auxiliary tank, the log must also include the person pumping the fuel, day, date, time, number of gallons, amount and description of equipment, vehicle to which fuel was dispensed. The highway department shall be required to provide the log sheets identified in number 1 above to the Town of Southeast Accounting Department monthly. Because again, originally it was weekly, we changed that to monthly, on the first town business day of each month, identifying all fuel dispersed during the previous month. The highway department shall also provide the Southeast Accounting Department with a fuel master transaction listing. Now, these are all titles taken from the documentation we received from the highway department. Transaction listed by vehicle ID for both miscellaneous diesel and miscellaneous gas, a fuel master transaction listing by user log name, as well as miscellaneous diesel and miscellaneous gas disbursement log for the same period of time. See attachments. And all the attachments will be forwarded down to that department tomorrow and as part of the package here this evening. Resolved that the fuel pump meter shall be installed on the auxiliary tank, fuel tank, currently located on and attached to the back of a 2006 Chevrolet Silverado truck and any other vehicles, such or similar auxiliary fuel tank, may be transferred to at a later date by no later than 12 noon on Wednesday, August 1st. And be further resolved that the town board has requested the Putnam County Department of Consumer Affairs, Weights and Measures, and has consented to checking the fuel pump meters at the town highway department and fuel pump meter for the auxiliary fuel tank to ensure accuracy once installed and annually thereafter. Resolved that this shall take effect immediately.
So the only thing is, on the top of the last page, 4 lines down, fuel master transaction
Yeah.
should be transaction.
That's why I couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, right. That has to be changed.
Okay,
That's it.
Action.
sorry about that. What if I didn't pick up? Okay, so we'll note that going past it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next is the resolution, 2016 adjusted base proportions. Would you read that one?
Sure. Resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast accepts the recommendation of the town assessor and hereby authorizes the town clerk to sign and provide to the Office of Real Property Services, Form RP-6703, for the town-wide and town outside village containing the base proportions of 59.583,444% and 60.299256% respectively, pursuant to real property tax law and NYS rules and regulations in form and substance as may be approved by town attorney.
So move for discussion.
I'll second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, supervisor's report. Right now, we're still in fairly good shape. We're a little more than halfway through the year. The revenues have increased a little bit down at the highway department.
Are we going to do that tonight? It comes after this?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, some you can. Other than that, I know, Lynn, that's your favorite topic.
It
but
is.
Things are,
We're on target?
we're on target.
Okay.
Okay, and number 9 is the resolution for the highway improvement funding, highway law, and 284 agreement. That's what we discussed early on. Wow. You want to go through? Since it's going to be changed, I'm just going to read. I will identify the roads, not really identify the monies, and the next meeting we'll fill in the monies. It's part of the record now.
Well, okay.
You want-
I have no problem if you'd like me to read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to read the whole thing?
So this is the Highway Improvement Funding Highway Law, Section 284 Agreement. Resolved that by adoption of this resolution, the town board agrees to the expenditure of the following funds for the indicated purposes. Project: Federal Hill Road repaved bituminous asphalt, approximately 1.0 miles. The cost estimate is $181,500. The 2018 CHIPS allocation balance initially was $342,840.21. What's been appropriated for the Federal Hill Road repaved bituminous asphalt, approximately 1.0 miles, is $161,340.21. Next project, Putnam Avenue, shim and cap, approximately 0.44 miles. Cost estimate, $79,640. The 2018 CHIPS allocation is $81,700.21. Meridian Drive, approximately 0.39 miles. $72,000 is the cost estimate. The CHIPS allocation is $9,700.21. Friendly Road from Cobb Road to Ames Road, approximately 850 feet. Cost estimate, $9,700.21. The allocation per the CHIPS allocation for 2018 is $0. Project, Friendly Road, as above, what I just stated, from Cobb Road to Ames Road, approximately 850 feet. Cost estimate, project balance, $33,599.79. The funds appropriated in 2018 budget balance, the initial balance was $1,850,000. That's from the highway funds. The budget balance is $976,250.21. Next project, Jonathan Way - Hickory Drive, 0.55 miles, Enoch Crosby Road - Deer Court, 2.1 miles, crack seal. Cost estimate, $15,000. Funds appropriated in 2018, $952,250.21. Next, roads to be tack coated and shimmed for future chip seal. Brewster Hill Road, Sodom to New York State Route 312, approximately 2.48 miles. Cost estimate, $176,000. Funds appropriated in 2018, $776,250.21. Dingle Ridge Road, New York State Route 6 to North Salem, approximately 1.61 miles. Cost estimate, $114,000. What's left for the funds appropriated in 2018 to the Highway Department is $662,000, $250.21. Roads to be micro-surfaced. Indian Wells Road from Gage Road to Cul-de-sac, approximately 0.75 miles. The cost estimate is $45,466. Funds appropriated remaining $616,784.21. Morning Dove Lane from Indian Wells to Indian Wells, that's $21,590.00. That's the cost estimate.
Funds appropriated, the budget balance, $595,194.21. Microsurfing, and that was from the Indian Wells to Indian Wells. Total estimated expenditure for 2018, those are the cost estimates, $748,496. Resolved, that an affirmative vote by a majority of the town board shall be deemed equivalent to the execution of an agreement by a majority of the town board as contemplated by Highway Law Section 284. An execution of a copy of this resolution by the highway superintendent shall be deemed equivalent to a fully executed agreement as to expenditure of highway funds for the 2018 fiscal year as contemplated by Highway Law Section 284, and be it further resolved that the town clerk shall enter this resolution into the minutes of this meeting, and that a fully executed copy hereof shall be filed in the office of the town clerk as directed by Highway Law Section 284, and be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to deliver a certified copy of this resolution to the highway superintendent forthwith.
Okay. Moved. Is there a second for discussion?
Second.
Discussion. Okay, I just want the public to be aware that any roads that are to be paved or worked on in any given year is determined by the superintendent of highways, not this town board. The process by which it's paved is responsible to the superintendent of highways, not this town board. What this town board does, and will be doing tonight, is approving the funds to do such projects. I spoke earlier about my road being on here, and I take, my job seriously like everybody does. I just don't want the public to think in any way that this road's getting repaved, because there's many roads to be repaved in this town. I looked up the condition of the road. We rated 75. I understand that the 75 road can be kept alive longer by doing it now. So just to clear the air, make sure there's no misunderstanding about my support of it, I'm going to ask that we split the question and approve this resolution less Meridian Drive. You can do that.
Why don't you just simply abstain? Just don't-
No, I want to say yes to everything else.
Because I don't think we can split it. I
Sure you
mean,
can.
Unless we're going to start removing it.
No,
like
we're going to split the
Mr.
question. We're
Bruin
going to,
suggested earlier.
Well, I gotta be, I think if I can, without counsel tonight, obviously, I don't want to speak to that, but my sense is that the highway superintendent will determine based on the highway superintendent's beliefs and knowledge of the roads as to what is going to be done. If indeed, Tony, you have some issue with,
no, I have no issue. You've abstained from the vote.
I don't want to abstain from the vote.
No. I want to pass, I have no problem with the roads. With mine, I want the opportunity to abstain from my road only.
Oh, okay. So
So you
Tony,
split the question.
so you're going to abstain from Meridian, but other than that, you'll approve?
Yes, and then
Okay.
we're going to go back and
And then
do
we'll vote on Meridian.
Meridian.
Okay,
So that's splitting the question.
okay.
Unfortunately, it's Parliament's procedure.
Do I have to read that whole resolution?
No.
again? I just want to make sure.
Okay, so I'm making a motion that we allow the supervisor to split the question and approve everything on the resolution with the exception of Meridian Drive.
And that's your motion.
That's my motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on the actual resolution and less Meridian Drive?
I vote that we should consider that. And
Okay, so now it's on the resolution less Meridian Drive. All in favor? Aye. Now, I'm going to make the motion now to
roll call
vote on just Meridian Drive
for roll call vote?
for roll call.
Fine, I'll second that.
Okay.
Roll call vote?
Okay, Councilman Alvarez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eckhart,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hudak,
Yes.
Councilman Lord,
Yes.
Supervisor Hay.
Abstain for reasons previously stated.
Very good.
Okay. And next is public comment. Seeing none. Town board comment.
I just wanted to remind everyone that the fire department, Brewster Fire Department has their parade tomorrow night or tomorrow early evening at 7:00 p.m. I urge everyone to come out. I know by the time anyone sees this, it may have already passed, but for all the people out in the audience, if you can please tell all of your friends and whomever to come out. It's a great time. We enjoy it. I heard that there is a promise from Mother Nature that it won't rain, just for that particular period of time. So if you're looking at this now and I'm wrong, I'm terribly sorry, but if I'm right, thank you very much, Mother Nature.
I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I wanted to say something.
Okay.
I wanted to remind everyone that Community Day is Saturday, August 4th. The rain date is Sunday. It's from 12 to 5 at Tenetta Lake Park. It is free to residents. Their guests are not permitted with, they're not free. And there is proof of residency, so we don't want people to be upset when they get there, but you will need to show proof that you live in the town of Southeast, but hopefully we'll get good weather for that.
Mother Nature again.
Yes, and it is a fun day. It's a really fun day for kids, too,
Really
I
is.
think.
Okay. We'll make way for the ARB. Thank you all for coming. Who
you wait.
I'll make a
Oh, wait,
motion that
Edwin, I
we
forgot,
close tonight's
sorry.
meeting.
Edwin,
I'll make a motion to close tonight's meeting.
second by,
John Mobil will second that motion.
all in favor? Aye. Thank you all for coming.